and welcome. Today we are taking a look at Nerf's first Pro Springer, the Nerf Pro Torrent. This blaster is pump action, claiming 150 feet per second, and includes 15 of Nerf's new darts. Let's jump right in. Included in the box, of course, we have the Torrent itself, the 15-round magazine, which is essentially an angled talon, eye protection, the 15 darts, and the instructions. Now let's go over the blaster. First off, we do have a sling mount through the stock and also through the pump grip. We have the safety here in front of the trigger. In the rear position, you are safe, and in the forward position, you're ready to fire. We have a single rival style rail. The stock might seem very short, but that's because it does come off. Simply by pulling, we reveal the N-Strike stock attachment point. So you can attach your favorite N-Strike compatible stock and make this thing however you want. This is very nice to see, especially because it is just so low profile. All the white you're seeing right here is the priming handle, so you can either prime it like a pump action blaster or a top prime blaster. Both work really well. If we do prime the Torrent back, a jam door is revealed. It's a great jam door, low profile and easy to access. The blaster does not feature a skinny pusher, so to load a magazine, we're going to prime it back and insert through the grip. The magazine release is ambidextrous right here and right here. As a right-handed user, I like hitting it with my thumb. It is slightly awkward and it's not the smoothest thing, but it does work. As far as plastic quality, the Torrent is excellent. Ergonomically, it's pretty solid as well. I really do like this grip. It is far better than something like the Apollo or Hera grip. I could see some people finding the pump grip a little bit strange, but I have tested this blaster quite extensively, and this grip definitely grew on me. Ergonomically, I will say the included stock is far too small, and if you were to actually shoulder it, your cheek would get pinched. While I really appreciate how compact this form factor is, I've been running it with a different stock. The prime on this blaster is super short, though it's not particularly smooth. It's not bad, and I haven't had any jams, but there are definitely smoother blasters, especially something like the Nexus Pro X. But anyway, firing the blaster is very simple, from the pump grip, or from the top. It does work pretty smoothly in my experience. And as you just saw, yes, this blaster is fully compatible with Dart Zone darts. So Nerf hasn't tried to make their Pro blasters proprietary, which is great. Now let's take this blaster outside, and we're going to put it over the chronograph. First, we're going to be firing 6 of the included Nerf Pro darts, and then we're going to fire 6 Dart Zone rubies. We are claiming 150, 124, 133, 139, 127, 121, and 132. So that is certainly not 150 feet per second. It's not terrible performance, but we are shy of the claim. Now to the Dart Zone rubies. 138, 146, 119, 137, 136, and duplicate 136. So again, not terrible performance, but we're not quite hitting that 150. Now let's fire some shots downrange. A couple of the Nerf Pro darts definitely didn't go as far. I wonder if there's some manufacturing inconsistency. I have tested this blaster pretty extensively off camera, and the most impressive thing to me is just how accurate the blaster is. For a blaster that doesn't actually have a metal barrel or any kind of scar system, the Torrent is just laser accurate in my experience. So what are my final thoughts on the Nerf Pro Torrent? So the Torrent is a really interesting blaster for a variety of reasons, and a lot of the features and what they tried to do here I really appreciate and really like. However, the blaster is Nerf's first pro-grade Springer, and that definitely shows. This feels like a first-generation blaster. It's certainly not all bad. I've used this blaster in games, and I really enjoy it. The compact size and the ability to choose between the priming styles, especially if you're in a tight place, make this blaster compelling enough to justify its existence. Accuracy is great, build quality is great. I love the cross compatibility with previous stocks, with previous magazines, and with previous darts. I also think this design is intentionally very reminiscent of the old dart tag blasters, which is one of the reasons I just really like how this blaster is styled and looks. But that is definitely a personal thing to me. The biggest negative, I think, is that the blaster does not hit the box claim of 150 feet per second. I was using this pretty effectively on the field, so it'll have enough power for most people, but it's just, you know, I have to say, it does not hit the box claim. That is really only the objective negative, but there is a lot more to think about when considering purchasing the Torrent. And that is simply the state of the current blaster market. Pro blasters have come a long way in the past 5 years, like a really long way. The Torrent definitely feels like an earlier stage pro blaster. For a Nerf brand blaster, $30 is not expensive, especially for their first high-powered Springer. But there are other options. From Dart Zone, we have things like the Aeon Pro X, the Nexus Pro X, the Striker 2.0. And from X-Shot, we have blasters like the Longshot and the Fury X. The Torrent is of course a Nerf brand blaster, and in being a Nerf brand blaster, the plastic quality is substantially better than what you would find on the X-Shot Longshot. That being said, I have no idea how much potential this thing has, especially when compared to the X-Shot Longshot, which can hit 300 FPS easily with the right mods. Also, if you are going to spend a little bit more, something like the Nexus Pro X can easily hit 260 with a single spring upgrade, no other mods required. So other blasters are definitely something I would recommend considering before buying the Torrent. That being said, the Torrent is not completely redundant. If you like the way this blaster looks, if you want a really compact Springer, if you just like the through the grip feeding, or really anything about this blaster, it is certainly not a bad buy at $30. If you do happen to be interested in the Torrent, I will have the link in my description. By the way, if you do have this blaster or the sender or plan on buying them, I will also have the spare magazines in the description. Thank you very much for watching, subscribe for more, have a good one, and happy blasting.